People in stock photos, what's the weirdest way you've seen your photos being used? I ended up finding myself on one of those now hiring posts on Facebook for a company I was trying to get hired at. I'm in an ad campaign in my home state in Australia for the government. I'm the face of don't buy alcohol for underage people. It's just me looking like a dad who's thinking of buying a drink, obviously for a teenager somewhere. Ironically, I don't actually have my own kids. I get emails from people I haven't heard from in years saying I saw you on the wall of the bottle shop. Which is kinda funny. I have some friends that found one of their wedding pictures from Facebook somehow printed on a pillow in a market in a Middle Eastern country. Like, they just randomly happened upon their wedding photo in a random street market. They are from the US. I googled my husband's name and a picture of him has been mistaken and mislabeled as Ann Coulter's husband. This takes place many years ago, when foreigners were a rare sight in Japan. I'm a big, friendly looking white guy, and I was asked to do some photos of a couple on a date. So I go around to some scenic locals with a beautiful Japanese woman, the photographer, and his assistants. Fun day. Took tons of romantic photos. And that was the end of it. Until a month or two later when my date and I showed up on posters all over the subway as part of an AIDS awareness campaign, because you can catch that from foreigners, ick now. Needless to say, my friends and coworkers thought it was hilarious, and amazingly it didn't have any noticeable impact on my dating life. Looking back, my only regret is that I didn't steal one of the posters. Edit, I can't believe my most upvoted post, by an enormous margin, is on my throwaway account. Yeah, still in Japan 25 years later, but now I have a semi-respectable job, so please don't dox me. Thanks for the silver and all the imaginary internet points. I was asked to go to a big opening event party for a park in China. As a foreigner, this kind of thing is pretty common. They want some white faces. Free food and drink, all the other guests had to pay. But in the end they start guilt tripping me. Put on this traditional Chinese costume, they say, some kind of kung fu looking robe thing. Let us take some pictures, they say. Fine, I'll let them do it. A few weeks go by and random people start pointing me out in public. My students are giggling in class. Finally, when I'm out and about, someone approaches me. Are you the guy from, and shows me a picture on the phone. My likeness in Chinese traditional wear has been printed on building-sized billboards around the city. I look goofy as F. All around the city, where I live and work. Edit sorry to disappoint everyone, but I spent a few hours going through old hard drives and was unable to come up with the photo. My only evidence to prove this story really happened is who would make up such a weird story as this one. My husband and I did stock photos when I was pregnant with our first. I ended up seeing myself later on the side of a bus as well as in a pamphlet for young moms. Flattering, at my doctor's office. The more interesting part, though, is that my husband took part in another family shoot, various poses, cooking in the kitchen, etc. Years later I was looking up a colleague on Facebook and her cover photo was her and my husband chopping vegetables in a stock photo. I had my photo taken in high school studying with my friend at the time. Almost 5 years later, my brother said I was in the county brochure for library services. The picture was most likely chosen, cause of the diversity, Asian girl and a black girl. I got used as a person with intellectual disabilities. I also did not know my photo was going to be used for anything. I didn't even know I was in a stock photo until my grandma bought a picture frame at Sears with my T-ball team picture in it. In college, a photography student took some pictures of me playing classical guitar. I ended up in a Viagra ad. I was 19. Not me, but my best friend. He did a photo shoot in some construction worker garb and a hard hat. We live in North Carolina, USA. I'm on a business trip in Chicago, and I stopped by a Walmart for some supplies. I'm in the men's work clothes aisle, and there's my buddy prominently on the wrapping of 50-ish packages of work shirts. It was a weird wait, where am I, moment. I knew he did some modeling, but not specifics. I sent him a pic. He had no idea it had been used. The guy's in every Walmart in the country, and had no idea. One of my daughters has a few stock photos out there. It's always odd seeing her face unexpectedly. It doesn't happen super regularly, but it makes me double take when it happens. I was on a brochure to promote my company once. It was the generic look to your left and smile at the camera while you work type of shot. A friend of ours was in a commercial for herpes medication a couple of years after we graduated college, and we recognized him randomly while watching a show with my mother-in-law. We were like, hey, it's our friend from school. We went to a school with strong religious ties and my mother-in-law is very religious. Right after we said this, my mother-in-law was appalled and said, wait, he has herpes. When I was a senior in high school, I was chosen to do a stock photo shoot for a big health company. They didn't tell me what they were going to use my pictures for. I was just excited to get free clothes and a tiny bit of cash. The way I found out how they used my photo was when I went to the gynecologist about a year later and saw my picture on the wall. I was the face of teenage pregnancy counseling. Edit. I was definitely not pregnant. I actually think I was still a virgin when the photo shoot happened. I remember seeing this on Reddit somewhere, but a guy submitted a stock photo of himself as a joke. Now it's used as almost every picture representing guys who can't get dates in articles. Edit. Thanks to you/fishtuxedo who found this link. My cousin took a photo of me wrestling my sister at a family reunion a few years back and it somehow wound up on an online forum about domestic abuse. I had a few of my friends messaging me who were obviously very confused lol. I'm on the opposite end. I'm a graphic designer, so I spend a lot of time on stock photo sites and I have so many questions. Some of the photos I've seen, there's no possible context that would make sense for them to be used anywhere. My family did a stock photo shoot when our kids were young, like 1 and 3. A picture they took on our porch ended up in the opening credits for The Americans. My ex used to work with a local photographer who is apparently pretty well known. He took a photo of me and my family and now it's a permanent piece at the New Mexico Museum of Art in Santa Fe. So strange. I wonder how many people's houses I'm in. My friend was in a stock photo where he held up a baby picture and it got used for an anti-circumcision ad campaign. Was pretty shocked when I saw his face on the side of a bus. In the military, some cameraman tagged along on a mission. Like 4 years later I saw footage of me in a gun turret on the news. I guess news broadcasters oftentimes just play generic combat footage and photos that look Middle Eastern-y enough and rightly assume nobody will notice that the shots were taken months or years before the actual incident they are talking about. I did a stock photo shoot about 10 years ago and my photos show up in the weirdest places. 3 ex-boyfriends have texted me out of the blue after my stock photo showed up in their work training modules. Someone in my senior capstone class used my photo in their class presentation and didn't realize it was me until everyone kept awkwardly looking at the screen and looking back at me. Every so often, my face pops up in a sassy black lady meme, paired with text like "Devil don't try me today" or "Too blessed to be stressed." Type amen if you agree. The weirdest in my opinion, my mom decided to join some crappy MLM makeup company because she was flipping through their catalog and saw that they had used one of my old stock photos as one of their makeup models. I was very obviously not wearing their makeup in the photos and my stock photo didn't match any of the other models' photos. Basically, whoever designed the catalog was like, oh snap, we need some diversity in here, but they were too lazy to actually hire another model, so they just grabbed a stock photo of a black chick and called it a day. The strange thing is that my mom joined the company because my photo was in the catalog, but she had to have known that I wasn't wearing the company's makeup because she personally did my makeup for that stock photo shoot 5+ years earlier. Great, you made it to the end. Now smash that like button and subscribe for even more videos like this one.